So I got my first period when I was in class 6th. It was during my end term examination. I had my science exam that day, and in the middle of the exam I felt something is weird and my stomach started aching. So I went to the washroom and I checked, and I wasn't sure what it was. I knew what period meant, but I wasn't sure that I'm having them right now. So I went back, I had a stomachache medicine, and then I started doing my exam again. I went home. I was a bit terrified. I wasn't sure what actually is wrong with me, but I thought maybe it's something because of the stress. And so I didn't tell anything to anyone. And the very next day, it was my maths exam. I woke up and it was the same thing. At that point, I was scared. I thought something is wrong with me. Maybe I have cancer or anything. I know it's stupid, but yeah, that's what I thought at that point of time. But I didn't tell anything to anyone, so I hoping that it would go away. And then I went to school, and that day was the same. I was giving my exam with all that irritation and the stomach ache and everything. And then I thought now I would have to tell someone something. So I came back home. I told my mom that I was so scared telling her. Then I started with I didn't do anything, I'm sorry, but I think I'm sick, something is wrong with me, blood is coming out of me and everything. So then she started laughing, and then she told me, no, it's okay, you are having your periods and this is something that you're gonna have every month. And I was so terrified. I was like, oh my god, this thing every month, how I'm going to deal with it and everything. But yeah, then she gave me my first pad, and I still remember the first time I wore it, I was literally walking like a duck. Yeah, and that was really a very funny and a weird experience. But yeah, that's how it was, and now I'm all accustomed with my period experience.
Hi everyone, this is Akshita and welcome to the story of my first period. So it happened on 26th January, and I was told before that what was gonna happen to me, that I would bleed from somewhere which I used to call down area. So it happened. I went inside to change my clothes, and as I was opening, I saw bright red color. I screamed because I was scared. I had never seen so much blood and it was so bright. So my mother and my sister came running in, and they were like, what happened? And I was like, look there. And then they were like, oh. And then my mother gave me a pad and she told me how to use it. And by the end of the day, I informed all my relatives that this has happened to me. I finally gotten my periods. I'm a girl and stuff. In the end of the day, the best part was when I was taken out for a treat. My sister took me out for a treat for my periods. It was all good. One thing that bothered me was that I wasn't allowed to tell about this to any male member. They have zero contribution during my periods because I'm not even allowed to tell them. I think it's a taboo in my family. It's still a taboo in my family because there are many superstitions that prevail around periods. I'm not allowed to go to the temple, and many, like not washing your hair and stuff. So one thing that I would really like to tell my younger self would be to love yourself, to love your own body, and to not gross out from blood. It is a part of you and it comes out of you, so it's okay. Thank you for being such a patient listener for my story, and see you.
Hello everyone, this is Majita, and today I'll be sharing my first period experience with you all. So let's begin. Well, I must say that I was really lucky that my mom explained me about period 2 or 3 months before I actually got my first period. And well, 2 or 3 months is a pretty decent time to digest the process and to understand about period before getting one. And now, let's fast forward to the day when I actually got my first period. Well, I still remember I was in 5th grade and it was summer vacation. Luckily, I was in home, and my mom and my aunt was planning to go for shopping, and I wanted to go with them. And for that, I went to my room to change my clothes, and then I realized that I have got my period for the first time. And then I went to my mom and my aunt to told them about it, and they were really supportive and explaining to me, and they handed me a pad and was telling me not to panic about it and all. Well, I must say that my family is really supportive, and my father and my brother were always there for me, and I was lucky that I could tell them about my period. Whenever I get my period cramps, my father is the person who always brings me the hot water bag, and always he take cares that I am eating well at that time. Something that I think I should tell to my younger self about first time experiencing period would be, don't panic. This is normal, everyone has it. Every single person you see, every single amazing woman that you see, everyone has it, and this is something that empowers them, not push them back. And yes, it is still a taboo subject from where I come from, I mean in Bangladesh, but luckily many government and non-governmental organizations are arranging campaigns and seminars regarding periods, which is, I think, a really good step for making people know about it and breaking the taboo. Thank you so much. These are something that I wanted to share with you guys about my first period and my period experiences. Thank you.
Hi, I am Humaira and this is my period story. So I was 12 and I remember it was the day after Eid. So there was a party at our house and all of our relatives were coming. And I got up in the morning and I got dressed, but suddenly I started feeling cramps in my belly and it was different than the usual ones, and I was feeling really uncomfortable down there. So I went to the washroom to check, and guess what? I found blood. But thanks to my mom, because she has told me everything about period beforehand, so I knew what was happening to me. So I wasn't really scared, but I was really shocked and unhappy because that wasn't the time I was expecting this. But when I look back at this now, I feel like that it was a very emotional experience for me. Yeah, it was really emotional, and I remember that feeling till this day. So yeah.